So full-time travel is actually not nearly as expensive as you would think. Most people have travel framed in a certain way because that's the way that they go on holiday. So people have a pretty large budget set aside to go on holiday. They're looking for the most luxurious deals, or they're looking for things to be a certain way. But there's also obviously a big industry behind tourism in that way that's set up deliberately for if you have a week or 2 weeks off work, here is the easiest and most luxurious option to do it. When you travel full time, you have a lot more flexibility. You're not going to want to go to the same kinds of places. You don't want to be at that 4-star resort under this kind of all-inclusive deal. You don't want to be kind of boxed in. When you're traveling full time, the aim is to get out and see much more of wherever you're at. So what that looks like is very different to what it would look like if you were on holiday. So for example, in terms of accommodation, whereas you might think that staying in hotels full time would cost you a bunch of money, you'd be right. That would cost you a bunch of money, but that's not something that most people do when they're looking to travel full time. When you're looking to travel full time, you'll more than likely spend longer periods of time in each place. So you can rent apartments in a lot of places month by month, which works out to be a lot cheaper than a few days or a week or even 2 weeks. You get a good monthly discount. And in a lot of those places, you can do rolling monthly contracts, or not even some of them are contracts, arrangements. So flying from place to place is expensive, can be expensive, but it's not going to cost you as much as if you're going on holiday and you have 2 weeks off work. You have very set dates and very set requirements on when and how you need to go to a place. When you're traveling full time, you don't have that level of structure, which means that if you're thinking about moving somewhere on the 1st of the month, but actually on the 6th, you save $400, get a real bargain flight, then you can just decide to do it. And there's no real downside to doing that. You're not boxed in the same way that you would be if you had to be back in the office on Monday. So for a lot of people who travel full time, it actually means that you're traveling less often. You're doing those big trips less often. Maybe that means you're based in a different country every month. Maybe it's once every 3 months that you move. Might depending on how much you like the place that you're in. But what that means is that you're willing, potentially, arguably, to spend a little bit more time traveling. If that's you might find good deals with not quite so good stopovers, or you might decide to spend an extra couple of days. For example, if you were going from Chiang Mai to London and it actually worked out better to spend a night or two in Bangkok, you'd be willing and able to do that on the way through. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay in the loop, and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think.